Pause. Hello, everybody. I want you to pause for just a minute. My name is Pastor Gord Clark. If you've never met before, I'm the pastor of Dynes Pentecostal Online Church, Canada. And these are our midweek pause devotionals. Time to just sit back for a minute or two, pause, and consider something from the scriptures that I hope is an encouragement to you, perhaps even a challenge to you. Today, as we go through the books of the Bible, having done Genesis last week, we're going to Exodus this week, and looking at a character or a principle, we're looking at Moses today. And so many pauses in Moses' life that we can learn from. We're not going to talk about his birth. That's something that, again, we want you to read the entire book for yourself. But we're going to start with when he was exiled because of having murdered someone. He was exiled, and he's trying to find himself. You ever been there? And he's working as a shepherd. One day he comes across this bush, and this bush is burning, but it's not being consumed. And out of the bush comes a voice. The voice says to him, "Take off your shoes, you're on holy ground." And out of the bush comes a voice that says, "I am that I am." In other words, God. Moses listens. God commissions Moses to go and lead the people of Israel out of slavery. Moses responds immediately, "Yes, Lord." No, he doesn't. You ever done that? You ever not responded to God immediately? Guilty. Moses instead gives a bunch of excuses why, but eventually he does obey God. And there's a series of 10 plagues, the last of which was the death of the firstborn of Egypt. And the children of Israel have been instructed that if they would take the lamb, the blood of the lamb, and put it over their doorpost, this is where we get the first Passover, by the way. It is the first Passover. Then the death angel would pass over that household, which is what happened to the children of Israel. And the children of Israel are led out of bondage into the desert. And Pharaoh, his heart being hardened now, chases after them. But God uses a cloud and a pillar of fire, and leads the children of Israel. But they find themselves, as they're being led, they approach the sea. And it's a cul-de-sac. They can't get out. Moses is not sure. And the Pharaoh and his army are now chasing them. And Moses goes to God, and God says, "Go and raise your staff over the sea." Moses obeys. The sea parts. Children of Israel walk across on dry ground. Pharaoh's armies come chasing after them. And as they enter the sea, Pharaoh and his army, the sea comes back together and they're drowned and killed. You see, when they went through in obedience. Now, were they going through because they were being chased by Pharaoh's army? Perhaps many of them were. The Bible doesn't tell us that. But at least they were wise enough to go. Sadly, Moses then, through a series of events, receives the 10 commandments. When he receives these 10 commandments that we are still using today, much of Western law is based on, the children of Israel are down in the valley creating and then worshiping a golden calf in disobedience. And God requires of those who disobeyed their lives that generation who were disobedient did not see the promised land. But let me tag something here. When they were in the desert, Moses, this great hero of the faith that we have, remember, he had been a murderer. Now, God had miraculously preserved his life even from his birth. Again, read this for yourself in the book of Exodus. But the children of Israel had come to Moses and asked him for more water. God was providing for them manna. sustenance, but they complained for the lack of water in the desert. Moses inquires of God what he should do, and God says to him specifically, you are to command water to come out of this rock, this particular rock. Again, you can read it for yourself. And instead of commanding it, Moses, in his anger, smites the rock, strikes it with his staff. The consequences of Moses' disobedience is that Moses is not allowed to go into the promised land. Now, you may think that that's unfair. I may think that it's exactly right. The fact of the matter is, God in his wisdom made that decision. You see, friends, it's not up to you or I to evaluate those things. God is the one who is perfectly just. And all of the pauses in our life, whether we think they are fair or whether we think they are unfair, we need to trust God. We need to trust his wisdom. We need to trust the wisdom and direction and empowering of the Holy Spirit. And that leads me to this. Take a moment, right here and right now, to hear what the Holy Spirit is saying to you. In this present moment, whatever's happening in your day right now, pause. Take a moment. Listen to what the Holy Spirit is saying to you and obey it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of our PAUSE devotionals. Join us Sunday morning, of course. You can join us at 8 o'clock for the message portion of our live stream, or you can join us at 9 a.m. for the full live stream. You'll find that on our YouTube and on our Facebook pages. God bless you.
It may be morn, it may be night or noon. We know